Good.
Okay, our topic is a very important one because a lot of the ideas that we're going to mention, from my experience, are so mixed up and people so confused about them. So we want to clarify them, Be'ezrat Hashem. So the topic is this world and the world to come. First of all, let's talk about the creation in general. When Hashem created the world, I'll just give this as a piece of information that we must know in order to understand really those notions. When Hashem created the world, the creation has a purpose. The purpose of the creation was to create creatures that will get the eternal reward. Hashem wants to share His goodness with creatures that He's gonna make. The want of Hashem was not coming from any need, because Hashem is Almighty, He doesn't have any needs. So it was a pure chesed, not for Hashem, the creation, not serving any purpose or any benefit of Hashem, of the Creator. It just made all for the creatures. So when we understand that this is the purpose, now we could understand this system. The system was divided to two systems. First was, the main one is the eternal world, the eternal reality that we will get over there, the goodness of Hashem forever. But in order to do this in a right way, according to the standards of perfections of God, He doesn't want to give this reward or this goodness to us as a gift, but He wants us to be the owner to deserve it, to be the owner of the goodness. Therefore, He divided the system to two systems. First will be the world of work, or a world of challenge, in order to create the tools to get this eternal goodness. And then will come the world of reward. And the difference between them, we'll see there are a few differences between the two worlds. This world that we are in it now is a temporary one. The permanent one is the world to come. So this is a general thing about it. Now let's learn it thoroughly and deeply inside the sources. When you open the Tanakh, when you open Sefer Bereshit, you open Genesis, the first chapter is the creation. I could guess that everyone is familiar with the 6th day of the creation and then the Shabbat that came after. But what's missing over there, obviously, are two things. Why Hashem created the world? It's not mentioned in the Torah. It says, Bereshit bara Elokim et Hashamayim v'et haaretz. In the beginning, Hashem created the Shamayim and the Haaretz. But why? Apparently, no reason given there. So we do not know why Hashem created the world. And the other thing, we do not know how Hashem created the world. Aside from the words, Vayomer, Vayihi. Vayomer Elokim Yiyor, Vayor. How, what do you mean that He said? And what did He say exactly? And how, what He said created reality. So those two things, those two questions, why Hashem created the world and how Hashem created the world, is not mentioned in the Torah in the simple level of the Torah. So here's the time to explain that the Torah is the book of God, and it's written not in the way we normally relate to books. It's a very sophisticated book. And in it, there are many layers that you could expose to. When you first read the Tanakh, you read the simple. If you understand the Hebrew or if it's translated to other languages, the translation from Hebrew by itself is diminishing a lot from from the information that the Hebrew language could give us. But even if you're a Hebrew speaker and you read the simple understanding of the Torah, you're just touching the surface. Inside there are many other deeper layers, and each layer has in it a lot of information. So let me just introduce one of the way to look at the layers. Let's take the 4 layers known by the initial, in Hebrew, Pardes, Pei, Resh, Daled, and Sab. The Pei is the first letter of the word Pshat. Pshat is the simple understanding. Pshat. Meaning, you know the language, you know the grammar, you could understand the simple information that in the first layer. Deeper, there is another layer, and the first letter of it is Reish. Reish is the first letter of the word Remez. Remez is, translated to English, hint. Now there are many kinds of hints. It's a whole dimension with a lot of information that comes in hints. Meaning in the text itself, the way it is, could be, the hints could be reading a word when you combine the first letters of every word. Rashei Tevot, the initials of a word. You could take the first word, add it to other, and then you'll get another word and another sentence and another information. Could be in the end of each letter, Sofei Tevot, each word, Sofei Tevot. Could be in jumping in the letters, Dilugei Otiot, you jump from here to here. Could be the number of each letter has a number. Let's say Aleph is 1, Chet is 8, and etc. All those, if you take the letter or put them into numbers, you could get by the numbers another realm of information. So there are many kinds of hints, and this is the second level. After the pshat, the simple, you have the hint, the remez. Then if you go deeper, there is another layer. It's called drash. Let me explain. This drash needs explanation. First, the word in Hebrew. The meaning of the word drash has 2 meanings actually in Hebrew, and they're both correct here. Drash, lidrosh, is first to demand. Ani doresh, I'm demanding something. Or to search. Lechapes. Lidrosh זה גם לחפש. It also lechapes, to search. So how it's connected over here in both meanings? If you know the Hebrew language, and if you read the Torah, you could find in many places, not in one, in many places, that the Torah use too many words in order to explain something very, very simple. Let me give you an example. It says by Noah, when it was the flood, he took the animals to the ark, to the teva, right? So it says over there that he took the 2 kinds of animals, habehema hatehora and habehema asher enena tehora. Habehema hatehora means the pure, spiritually pure animals, and the impure animal. But instead of saying habehema hatehora vehabehema hatmea, which is one word, it says asher enena tehora, that it's not pure. So this is one example of when the Torah, if you look at the pshat and try to understand the simple meaning, you could ask yourself why the writer, meaning Hashem, God, why the writer used so complicated way when he could do it very easily, simply, different, in one word, let's say. So every time you come across such a phenomena in the Torah or in the Nevi'im, you have to know that it's not a mistake, it's on purpose. It's on purpose, and of course Hashem knew what you know, that he could write it a different way, right? If he wrote it this way, it means something. Now if you demand, search, try to understand why, you will find a whole piece of information, and this is the drash. The drash is to understand the words and what the words say and why the pasuk, the verse didn't use different word. Then comes the deepest level, which is the secret, the sod. It happens that in Hebrew and in English it starts with the samech and the s, secret, which is things that are in the Torah, but they are there in a way that not everyone will have an access to them. Why? Because they're so important. It's like the secret of a country or secret of... Those are the secrets of God. So there is a whole level on this. And when Hashem gave the Torah to Moshe in Sinai, He gave him all 4 levels. Now, the question that I presented at the beginning, you start Sefer Bereshit, you start Genesis, you understand that it's talking in a simple way about the creation. But the 2 major pieces of information that we really want to know is why Hashem created the world and how Hashem created the world doesn't mention in the Torah. So it's not true that it's not mentioned in the Torah. It's not mentioned in the simple way, in the simple level. But it's mentioned in the deeper level. It's mentioned in the drash and in the sod, in the secret. Now let me show you the thing. First of all, we'll take a piece of information that mentioned in the Gemara, in Masechet Sanhedrin. The Gemara bring in Sanhedrin, Daf Tzadik Zayin, page 97. The Gemara bring a medrash. So the Gemara bring now a midrash. This midrash called Tana Deve Eliyahu. Eliyahu was Eliyahu the prophet. The most unusual thing that happened with Eliyahu, that Eliyahu is the only prophet that survived from the time of the Nevi'im. All the prophets passed away. I mean, they did their job, they lived in the world, they were prophets, and then they passed away as everyone else. That's not the case of Eliyahu Navi. Eliyahu Navi never died. The verses in Melachim, in Kings, describe that he went up to the sky with a fire chariot, and he never died. So we know that Eliyahu Navi has different jobs in the world. After he was here in this world, like us, as a person, when his time came to finish his time in this world, he didn't die, he went up alive, but since then, he appeared in this world as an angel. Meaning, he's not an angel, he's a human being. But he appeared in the world in different jobs, different missions. One of them, everyone know he is the Malach HaBrit. In every Brit Milah of every Jewish kid, there is a chair. Kiseh shel Eliyahu Navi. This is the chair of Eliyahu. He has to be attend in every Brit Milah. He called Eliyahu Malach HaBrit. So here, his mission is an angel of the Brit, and there are meanings to this. We're not going to go to this now. Another thing, Hashem promised in the last words of the Nevuah, in the words of the prophet Malachi, the last 2 psukim are very famous one. הנה אנוכי שולח לכם את אליה הנביא לפני בוא יום השם הגדול והנורא והשיב לב אבות על בנים ולב בנים על אבותם, etc. Meaning, Eliyahu Navi has a job. He is going to be the one who will come at the end of days when the redemption, the ultimate redemption will occur. He will come with the Mashiach. Okay? So that's another thing. Another thing, Eliyahu is the one that gonna at the end of days to solve all the halachic problems that was unsolved during the time of the Talmud. You know, if you learn Talmud, you see that there are a negotiation, try to understand this way, that way. Then in few cases, there is a whole discussion, but there is no conclusion. At the end, it says, Teiko. Teiko are initials of Tishbi, which is Eliyahu. Eliyahu Tishbi. Tishbi was the place where he was from. Eliyahu Tishbi. So Teiko are Tishbi Yetaretz Kushiyot Uvayot. At the end of days, he will come and solve all the unsolved problem that was so equal. I mean, the two sides are so equal that no one could decide what is it, and it stayed like this until Eliyahu will come and solve those problems. In this job of Eliyahu, he also appeared in the Batei Midrashot during the history, at the time of the Tanaim and the Amoraim, and he revealed to them, teach them, some information that it was the time to reveal at the time. So it happened in the Gemara. It mentioned a lot in the Midrash, and it mentioned a lot in the Kabbalah. In the Zohar, it's mentioned so many times that Eliyahu Navi appear like this, and he helped the Tanaim to understand things that connected to the deepest level of the Torah, mainly to the Sod, to the secret. Then later on, we find Eliyahu Navi in the Bet Midrash of the Ari HaKadosh. The Ari, who was the master of the Kabbalah, he lived approximately 500 years ago. The Ari himself never wrote anything. All the rites, all the books, all the Torah, the teaching that the Ari taught, his disciple, Rabbi Chaim Vital, was the one who wrote it down. So, if you know, those who are familiar with that, there are a lot of information of Kitvei HaAri HaKadosh that Rabbi Chaim Vital wrote, but if you open the first page, you will see, it's written over there, Ela Advarim, those words, Rabbi Chaim Vital learned from his teacher, Hari HaKadosh, Shelamad Mipi Eliyahu, that he learned from Eliyahu Navi. So Eliyahu Navi is also a revealing of information in the Torah in certain times in the history when it's not by chance. I mean, only by this time it's time to reveal this piece of information, this piece of information. So I'm giving it to you as an overview to understand this Gemara. The Gemara in Masechet Sanhedrin says that quotes something from the things that Eliyahu Navi taught. And another amazing story behind this in order to understand this. The Gemara in Masechet Ketubot tell us that one of the Amoraim in the Talmud, not that famous, by the name Rav Anan, that was his name, Rav Anan, one of the Amoraim of the Talmud, he was a great person in a way that Eliyahu Navi learned with him Chavruta. He was his Chavruta, he was learning with him every day. They were learning together Torah. Many, many years after Eliyahu went up to the sky with a chariot of fire. So we're talking about the time of the Amoraim, 1700 years ago. Okay, Rav Anan learned with him Torah, and Rav Anan wrote what they learned together. And it became a whole book called Tana Devei Eliyahu. There's a book, a whole book, and this book connected to the Midrashim, like you have Midrash Rabbi, Midrash Tanchuma, Pirkei de Rabbi Eliezer, there is Tana Devei Eliyahu. So Tana Devei Eliyahu is a book that Eliyahu Navi taught Rav Anan, or learned together with Rav Anan. So the Gemara quote few words from this Tana Devei Eliyahu in Masechet Sanhedrin Daf Tzadik Zayin. Let's see what the Gemara says. Tana Devei Eliyahu, Shita alf shnei haver, alma vechad charuv, ולסוף 1000 שנה שב הקדוש ברוך הוא ומחדש את עולמו. Those words need explanation. Let me translate them in the right way. Tana Devei Eliyahu. It's written in the book of the Eliyahu, the Eliyahu, the Bet HaMidrash של Eliyahu. Shita alf shnei haver alma. This world that we are in it, gonna exist for 6,000 years. 6,000 שנה יהיה העולם. What's going to happen after 6,000 years? Don't be scared. For a whole millennia, the 7th millennia, the world will be destroyed for a whole 1 millennium. The world will be destroyed. After the 7 millennia will pass, see what's written over here? Shav HaKadosh Baruch Hu Umchadesh et Olamo. Hashem will renew His world. And we have to really understand what's written over here. So first of all, in the simple information, this world, since Hashem created him, since Hashem created this world, because Hashem created the world for a purpose, this purpose has limits time. The limited time of this world are 6,000 years. By the way, if you want to update your knowledge about the date today, it's not 2019, but this is the date. In the Hebrew date is 5779. 5779, this is the time today. This is the year. In Hebrew, Shnat Hatash Ayin Zayin, Ayin Tet, which is 5779. Now, this number, if you go back, it will take you to the time of the creation, the 6th day of the creation. So, if so, according to the information that we learned from Eliyahu Hanavi, Tana Deve Eliyahu, if since Hashem created the world there are 6,000 years, where are we? We after 5,000, and the most of the the 6 millennia, 779 passed already, so we have another 221 years to the end of the 6th millennium. Okay, so that's us. The Gemara was written 1,500 years ago. 1,500 years ago, it means something like 4,000, according to this numbers, yeah? 4,250. That's the time that the Gemara was written. Now, what actually the Gemara says? The Gemara says, the Tana Deve Eliyahu says, that this world will exist the way we know it for 6,000 years. What's going to happen after? We have another 221 years. What's going to happen? When you look at it, the way it's written, it seems very scary. The world is going to be destroyed. And it will stay destroyed for 1,000 years. But we should come down. Why? Because I'll tell you something that I need to explain. This destruction of the world for all 1,000 years will not be a destructive destruction, but a constructive destruction. What is the meaning of this? So in order to understand this, we have to learn the meaning of those numbers. Why 6,000 and what's the meaning of the 7? Okay, so in order to understand this, we have to learn something that is in the beginning of the history. When Hashem created the world, He created the world in 6 days, right? At the 6th day, after everything else, Hashem created Adam. Adam was created at the 6th day after everything else. When Hashem created Adam, He said, why am I going to create this Adam? In order for him to run the entire universe that I just created. V'yirdu bidgat hayam u'vof hashamayim, yirdu meaning they will rule over it. There is a medrash in the beginning of Sefer Kohelet, Midrash Rabbi, said the following: that when Hashem created Adam, He gave him a tour. He gave him a tour in Gan Eden. Gan Eden is the micro of the entire big creation. So He gave him a tour, and He told him, you see everything that I created over here? Everything that I created for you. That's what the Creator, Hashem, says to Adam. Ten da'atcha, be careful, shelo techta, that you will not sin, v'tekalkel et ma'asai. You're going to be in charge of this. So because you're in charge, you could take it to a good place, but if you will sin, you're going to ruin it all. So be careful. This warning Adam get right after he was created, in the 6th day of the creation. In the same day, Hashem commanded him not to eat from Etz Hadat Tovara. In the same day, he ate from Etz Hadat Tovara. In the same day, he was judged and was chased out of Gan Eden. He never saw the Shabbat in Gan Eden. Now Hashem told him, in the Pasuk, Hashem said, if you'll eat from this tree, you're going to die. Ki biyom acholcha mimenu mot tamut. Everyone knows that Adam didn't die in the same day. Adam has pretty long life. Not the longest, but pretty long. Metushelach has more than him. But he has 930 years. So what is the meaning of God just what? When he threatened him, he didn't really do it? Hashem said, if you'll eat, biyom acholcha mimenu mot tamut, and he did it. I mean, he ate and he didn't die in the same day. So here comes, again, piece of information that is in the Medrash. Rashi brings it in the beginning of Sefer Bereshit. There are two attributes, two ways that Hashem managed the world. Midat Adin and Midat Rachamim. The attribute of justice and the attribute of mercy. So according to Midat Adin, to the attribute of judgment, the minute Adam sinned and did what Hashem told him not to do, he should die. And if we'll add to this the information that we just learned from the Akdama to Sefer Kohelet, Hashem told him, the entire creation was created for you. If you will sin, you'll not just ruin yourself, you're going to ruin the entire thing. So according to the attributes of justice, Adam has to die in the 6th day of the creation, and with him, the entire creation should be destroyed. Because Hashem did not want to destroy the world that he just created, he used a different attribute. It's called Midat HaRachamim. What's Midat HaRachamim? You have to understand this. Midat HaRachamim is not, okay, you know what, I forgive you. That's not Midat HaRachamim. Midat HaRachamim is actually Midat Adin with certain change. According to Midat Adin, to the attribute of justice, a consequences of an action, of an act, comes with the act itself. That's according to the attribute of justice. Meaning if someone will touch a very high voltage, he's gonna die on the spot. That according to the attribute of justice. The attribute of mercy is not saying there is no consequence to an action. This is not changed, the consequence isn't there, but there is some delay. It's not going to happen immediately with the sin. What is the purpose of this delay? So we have to probably know that there are 13 levels or 13 attributes of mercy in the attribute of mercy. 13 midot shel rachamim, right? One of them is erech hapayim. Hashem, kel, rachum, v'chanun, erech hapayim. What is erech hapayim? Af is in anger. V'chara af Hashem b'chem. Af is in anger. When someone, it's just, parable, of course. Hashem doesn't have any body, he's not material, he has no goof, and not muta goof. But when someone is very angry, you could say, he's so angry, a smoke comes from his nose. This is charon af. Charon af. So af is represent anger. Midat erech hapayim, the attribute of erech hapayim means that if someone really irritates you and make you angry, you could be very angry and on the spot explode, or you could hold yourself. And this is what the meaning of erech hapayim. Hashem hold his anger and not react immediately to the sin. What is the purpose of this? In order to give the sinner the option to fix the consequences of his sin. I have an amazing parable to give you about this. Imagine someone woke up in the morning after many days of depression. So he was thinking, cold mind like this, about his life, and he decided that his life is not worth to continue. He decided to commit suicide. So because he was familiar with different kinds of poisons, he went to the pharmacy across the street, bought through a few things, made a combination, and he has a lethal poison now. He came back home, he took a cup of water, put the poison in it, mix it up, and drank it all at once. Because he decided that he wanted to commit suicide. After he finished drinking it, he regretted. He said, wow, what stupid things I did. I have many good years ahead. So he regretted, but he drank it already. It's in the system. So because he was knowledgeable a little bit, he knew that there is something called antidote. He ran to the pharmacy, asked them if they have this and this, I don't know, powders, mixed them together, and made the antidote. Now, he knew that he had only 10 minutes since he drank the poison until he could neutrally it by the antidote. So he was lucky enough that they had all the things, he took the antidote and he neutralized the effect. And he didn't die. So this is the parable. The nimshal is the following. When someone do a sin, there is a consequence to end every act. We spoke about this before. There is no such a thing, there is an act that there's no consequence to it. If it's a good action, the consequences will be good. If it's not good, the consequences will be not good. There's no way that there will be an action and no consequences. No such a thing. Now, when Adam Rishon sinned, the consequences of his sin, Hashem told him, going to be an immediate death to you and to the entire creation. That according to the attribute of justice. Then Hashem decided not to destroy the world after Adam sinned, and he used the other attribute, which is the attribute of mercy. What is the attribute of mercy? A delay. And now the question is, how much is the delay? And what is the purpose of the delay? In order for Adam who sinned to fix it. If he will do tshuva, then he will take away the impact of the sin. Right? Now, because Hashem created the world in 6 days, and he says to Adam, Ki beyom acholcha mimeno mot tamut. According to the attribute of justice, he should die in the 6th day. But the attribute of mercy took each day of the creation that Adam ruined by the sin, spiritually ruined, and give him a chance to fix it. And what will be the chance? The delay. And what will be the delay? What the calculation of the delay? There is a pasuk in Tehillim. The pasuk says, Ki 1000 shanim be'enecha ki yom etmol ki ya'avor. The meaning is that for certain things, one day is like 1,000 years. Ki 1000 shanim be'enecha ki yom etmol. 1,000 years is like one day. So Hashem gave the world 6,000 years parallel to each day of the creation for Adam and his descendants to fix the sin that, according to the attribute of justice, should bring the destruction of the entire system in the first day. So this is the meaning. This is what behind the sins over here, the 6,000 years. Now we understand the number. 6,000 parallel to the 6th day of the creation. Okay, now it's time to move to the 7th day, the 7th millennium, right? We said over here that after 6,000 years, the world will be destroyed for 1,000 years. Where is this coming from? The answer is, if we understand that every millennia of the 6 millennials are parallel to 1 day of the creation, according to this, what will be the 7 millennia? Parallel to the 7th day of the creation. What was in the 7th day of the creation? Shabbat. What is Shabbat? Shabbat is don't do more things. And this is the meaning of Chad Charuv. Chad Charuv meaning in the 7th day of the creation, Hashem didn't create anything. Meaning nothing happening in the 7th day. So in the 7th millennia, that's parallel to the 7th day, it will be a whole 1,000 years of Shabbat.
Wow.
And this is the meaning of Chad Charuv. It's not a physical destruction. It's put the physical down, and now it's a spiritual time. So it will be 1,000 years of Shabbat of the spiritual day. So that, therefore, don't be scared. We have 221 years until Knisat Shabbat, until the 7th millennia. Now, in Motzei Shabbat, after the end of the 7th millennia, what's going to happen? Then it says, Shav HaKadosh Baruch Hu M'chadesh et Olamo. Then Hashem will renew his world. The meaning of this is not what you think. It's not that there will be another world like this one with, a better version. No. This is the world to come. The world to come going to start at Motzei Shabbat. The 6,000 are the work of work, the word of work, of free will. Then will come 1,000 for Shabbat, and in Motzei Shabbat, after the 7th millennia, then will start the world to come, which is the eternal world with no limits of time anymore. Okay? So this is the information that we have here. So we try to understand in this class what is the meaning of the word, this word and the word to come. I want to now deal with, what happened. We are now here in 5779, right? So instead of discussing what happened in the past, let's go to the future. What's going to happen in the next 221 years that left? And what's going to be after? And here I want to address some major thing that I said in the beginning is people are confused about it. And I want to clarify it. People are mixing the notion, the word to come, to the word that the neshama goes after 120 in this world. Right? People say, this person was here, but now his neshama is in the olam haba. So they use the word olam haba, which is not accurate. You have to know again, according to what I just said, olam haba is not existing now. The distance between now and the world to come is 1,000 years and 221 years. It didn't start yet. So what happened to the neshama when it separated the body after 120? Where is the neshama going to? The neshama is not going to the olam haba. The neshama going to the olam neshamot, the world of souls. And now let's explain this. What do you mean? What is the world of souls? And here we come to very, very interesting information. First of all, we have to know that all the neshamot, all the souls of all the people in the world are much more older than themselves. Our neshama is much older than us. Simply because all the neshamot that are in the world, will be in the world until the end of the 6th millennia, all of them were created at the 6th day of the creation. When a baby is born, when a baby actually not born, when a baby is created in the first day of the 9th month of the pregnancy, the body is new. The neshama is not new. The Gemara in Masechet Kiddushin says the following: שלושה שותפים באדם, 3 partners in every human being. אביו ואימו והקדוש ברוך הוא. His father, his mother, and Hashem. The father and the mother become partners. See, the Gemara speaks about partnership. 3 partners there are in every human being. The father and the mother are partners since the conception. Since the seed, the sperm, meet the egg, then when they click together and start the process of the baby, this time is the time of the beginning of the partnership between the father and the mother. Not by the delivery, 9 months before the delivery. Then they start the partnership between them. But we have to know that there are 3 partners, not 2. So from the father and the mother we get our body. The DNA, which is a combination of the sperm and the egg, this is a contribute to us from our parents. But our soul is not coming from our parents. Our souls come from Hashem. He is the 3rd partner, and he put the neshama in the baby in the minute of the conception. There are 3 partners. And the same way the 2 partners, the father and the mother, started from the 1st second of the conception, the 3rd partner also put his part, which is the neshama. Now the question is, where is the neshama coming from? So I have to know that there is a place, spiritual place, called Otzar HaNeshamot, the Treasury of Souls. And the Treasury of Souls is a place like a room or with a lot of neshamot that waiting to their time to come to this world. And all of them were created at the 6th day of the creation. Later on we'll go even more in focus on this, when and how. Yeah.
Is it possible that that neshama came down here for the first time? Impossible, right? It's the same neshamas that are being... Because he's waiting for a long time if it's his first time coming down.
Let's talk theoretically. You might be right according to what the Ari says, that there are no...
What you say, that
right. But let's speak... Let's speak theoretically.
Okay.
So theoretically could be that the neshama is waiting in the Treasury of Souls since the creation to its time to come to this world.
So what you're
Theoretically.
saying,
Theoretically.
So,
And it's important to me to speak about the theoretically in order to really understand. Later on we could talk about reincarnation, but let's start from this, okay? Theoretically the neshama could be there, let's say, 5,779 years. The soul is there, never was he on this world. Then comes the time, and this time is not by chance, it's all very accurate when the neshama should come to this world.
precise.
Very precise. So, the neshama comes to this world, and now the neshama enters what's going to be the body. 9 months of the creation, the baby will born. Then this person will live for 70, 80, 120 years, right? So every soul in the world has 3 basic states. State number 1, the neshama not connected to anybody, but it's a neshama, stayed there in the Otzar neshama. State number 2, when the time comes for it to come to this world, and Hashem decided what neshama go to what body, a male, a female, a Jew, a non-Jew, all of this was a decision that made by Hashem. And the neshama will come and enter this body and stay with it 120 years plus 9 months of the pregnancy. This is state number 2, when the neshama is in the body. State number 3, when the neshama leaves the body after 120, then it's a neshama by itself, and it goes back again to the Treasury of Souls, but in a different way. Before that, so State number 1, the neshama before it's entered the body. State number 2, the neshama in the body. State number 3, the neshama out of the body after it was in the body. Now, let's say a person died today. His neshama go to the upstairs, and the neshama should stay somewhere until the end of the 6th millennia, when something big called the resurrections of the dead, Tchiyat HaMetim, and the neshama gonna come back to here to this world. The body gonna be rebuilt, and the neshama will enter to it. So this is actually state number 4, when the neshama will come in Tchiyat HaMetim to the body, and the body will rebuild. Just a minute. Step number 5. Step number 5 is when the neshama, after the neshama, why the neshama in step number 4 come back to this world? In order to be judged about if the body, this body and this soul has portion in the world to come. And all this judgment gonna be here before the end of the 6th millennia. Before the end of the 6th millennia. It will be a judgment day. The judgment day will decide which neshama and body have a portion of the world to come. After the judgment will be made, and let's say this neshama and the body has portion of the world to come, this world going to be destroyed physically, but will exist spiritually for 1,000 years.
Okay.
And after 1,000 years will start the world to come, and this body and soul and body, will stay together forever.
That's the Atamei right?
No, Tchiyat HaMetim is the end of the 6th millennium. I'm talking now about
but the when you come to the hold on,
wait.
Hold on, let me understand you quick.
Uh-huh.
Because every time they tell us the internal world is Olam Haba, this is temporal. That's so before the 6,000 years, right? That the Atamei happens after 6,000 years.
No.
So why are we doing the Atamei? It's nothing to do with
Where's Gan
reincarnation.
Eden and Gehenom? Where it goes?
It's confusing.
If you will wait, I'll give you all the information, slowly but surely. First of all, Tchiyat
Can you
HaMetim,
repeat it again? Because I'm exactly what you just
yeah. Tchiyat HaMetim and the day of judgment
Okay.
gonna be here in this world before the end of the 6th millennia. At the end of it. Let me explain again.
What's the ultimate goal? That's what I'm confused at. The ultimate
The
goal
ultimate goal is Olam Haba, but Olam Haba is not here in the 6,000 years. It's not in the 7th millennia.
When is
It's the Motzei Shabbat, which is the beginning of the 8th millennia. The beginning of the 8th millennia, then start the Olam Haba. And the Olam Haba is forever existence. It's not something that will be more
Not
time
here.
anymore.
It's not
What?
physical. It's not
Here.
physical.
It is.
Oh,
I mean,
is
it is a physical and spiritual in a different way.
Combined with it.
It's not
Very
easy to
confusing.
understand. But first, get the information. Again,
Rewind.
a
please.
person, yeah.
Thank you.
Let's talk again about all the states of the neshama. The neshama was created, the neshamot, the entire neshama, all the neshamot was created in the 6th day of the creation. You know what, I'll add now information that I wanted to say later, but because you're asking, I'm saying it now.
Please.
All the neshamot, all the souls of every human being, Jew or non-Jew, and you have to know that non-Jew also has neshamot.
Yeah, for sure.
And if you heard differently, it's wrong. The information that you got. Every human being has a neshama. And all the neshamot were included in the big neshama of Adam HaRishon. When actually Hashem created the Adam, it says, ויצר השם אלוקים את האדם עפר מן האדמה, ויפח באפיו נשמת חיים. This is the only neshama that Hashem created. When Hashem created Chava, He divided the body of Chava from the body of Adam. We spoke about this.
Yes.
And He divided the neshama of Adam to two. The male part stayed by Adam, the female part came to Chava. When they sinned, Adam and Chava, together, this neshama got damaged, spiritually damaged. And in the Kabbalah it's mentioned like it was a big explosion, and this neshama exploded to billions of sparks called Nitzotzot Nishmat Adam HaRishon. All those sparks, if you take them all together and put them back together, you'll get the first neshama of Adam HaRishon. But they exploded because, exploded is just a parable, because of the sin. That was the impact of the sin. Now each one of the sparks, when will become a soul by itself and will enter to one of the physical descendants of Adam and Chava. And this is the three partners. The father, the mother, and Hashem. Hashem taking what? One of those sparks and put it in this body. When all the sparks will go through the bodies during the 6,000,000 years, then the sin of Adam Rishon will be fixed. And it must be fixed. There is no way that it will not be fixed.
All those sparks are the souls. Those souls have to come down in the
Right.
6,000 years.
Right.
So
So the soul wait upstairs until it's time to come to this world. Now, what do you mean it's time? We have to know the impact of the sin of Adam and Chava was on their body and on their soul. But if you take the body has different parts, right? We have 613 limbs, or Ramach Ivarim v'Shlosa Gidim, right? We have our, you have a finger, you have a brain. The finger is a limb, and the brain is also, but there are differences between them, right? What's the difference? Obviously, there are limbs, if they're damaged or cut off, chas v'shalom, in an accident, person could lose a finger, could lose a leg, but he will still be alive. So there are limbs that, if they not there, it's still, the person is still alive. But if another limb, let's say the heart, the kidneys, the brain, will be damaged, you cannot exist without it, right? So the same way, in the body you have different parts, physical parts, but some of them are neshama tluya b'hem, and some of them are neshama lo tluya b'hem. Means it's not a matter of life and death. In the soul also, in the neshama, there are major parts and less important parts. So, the most important got more damage, parts of the neshama. And every other spark got damaged according to its role in the entire system of the soul, right? Therefore, based on this, the neshama will come, this spark will come to this world in order to fix what's damaged in it. Therefore, there are different times for the souls. Which soul will come to what time in the history, what point of the place in the world, to what kind of parents, right? And the major thing is that the decision of Hashem, which soul will go to what body. Because the body and the soul should work together in order to do the tikkun, the fixing of the soul. Therefore, Hashem fit the body that will be the best for them to work for free will to make their tikkun. Okay? Now, again, let's go back. Theoretically, a soul could be upstairs since the 6th day of the creation until its time to come to this world. When it's there, it's not connected to any physical, it's a pure soul, spiritual entity. When Hashem decides that it's time to come to this world, this soul will be connected to a physical body. It starts from the first day of the conception, 9 months of the pregnancy, and the time that Hashem set for this person to live in this world. In this case, in this state, the soul connected to some certain body. Let's say this person finishes life in this world. There is a separation between the body and the soul. The body go to the ground. The soul go up. And here, now in general, there are details on this. The neshama could go to the Yinon, to the Gan Eden, that different options, we'll talk about them later. But in general, the soul goes now upstairs for a waiting room to wait until the time of Tchiyat HaMetim will come, which is at the end of the 6th millennium. So the neshama is there now waiting. This place, just a minute, this place, let's say after all the some process that could happen to this neshama, this place called Gan Eden, the waiting room. The waiting room after the neshama separate the body, it goes to Gan Eden. Gan Eden is not Ha'olam Haba. Gan Eden is the waiting room. the waiting place until Tchiyat HaMetim. This is not Olam Haba. Now what we have to know about Gan Eden also, in this details will go later, there is Gan Eden HaTachton and Gan Eden HaElyon. There is Gan Eden in this world, the place where Adam and Chava was. We could not today get into it or know about where is it, because Hashem put guards in it in order for us not to have access to this. But there is a place here in this world, in the physical world, where Adam and Chava was. But there is parallel Olam Elyon, a higher world, and this is Gan Eden Elyon. So the neshama after 120 go in the beginning to the Gan Eden HaTachton, then it goes up to the Gan Eden Elyon, waiting until Tchiyat HaMetim. When the time of Tchiyat HaMetim will come, which is before the 6th millennium will end, the neshama will come back to this world. The body that was buried for sometimes many, many years and nothing apparently left from it will be rebuilt. The same body that was here rebuilt, and the neshama will go into it. What for? For one reason. To be standing for the judgment day, both the neshama and the body, to the judgment if they have or do not have a portion in the world to come. And that's going to happen here before the end of the 6th millennium. Two things, Tchiyat HaMetim and Yom HaDin HaGadol VaNorah. When it will be done, and it will be clear who has the portion for the world to come and who doesn't, this world, the physical world, going to be destroyed. What's going to happen with the body that just was revived? So Hashem said the body will not die. Hashem will make it exist without need to the physical world, like Moshe Rabbeinu was in the mountain for 40 years and 40 days, like Eliyahu Navi, that went in this body and doesn't need this physical world for 1,000 years, which is the Shabbat. The 7th millennium, the Shabbat. At the end of the 7th millennium, then will start the world to come, and the body and the soul will be existing forever, getting the reward exactly how much they deserve it when they work on it in the time of the Avodah, when they were in this world. So therefore this world is very, very important, even though it's not the purpose. The purpose is the world to come. But you cannot go to there unless you're going here. And here every minute is important. Why? Because every action that you do, you build your portion in the world to come. The first famous Mishnah, Kol Yisrael yesh lahem chelek la'olam haba, you have to really understand it. What do you mean every Jew has a portion in the world to come? What do you mean portion? Everyone has his own portion. Exactly what he did. I mean, the good things that he did. The worst, the not good things, you're going to be punished on them. In this world, in Gehinom, nothing will be left from the bad actions. You are going to pay the price for each one of them, but then they disappear. What will left? Only the good. Only the mitzvot. And that will be his portion forever. Therefore, every mitzvah that you do here, sometimes Yetzer Hara come to a person and say, there is no point to keep Shabbat, to do mitzvot, because you did so many averot. So what's the point? That's wrong. Even Chas v'Shalom, you did a lot of averot. Do as many mitzvot as you can. Because the averot gonna disappear. You're gonna pay for them. It will be painful. But then they will be disappear. What you gonna be left with? Only the good stuff. So the more you do, even if you did a lot of averot, do many mitzvot as you can, because this is your portion in the world to come, and you could do it only here in this world. Later on, it's over. You could not increase it. You have what you have. Therefore, it's very important for everyone to do as many good things as he could. Because that's his portion for the world to come. Is everything clear? Or
no. So where is the Gilgul is coming?
Oh, that's
We're going to get to Gilgul.
Yeah. So, yeah. Anything else that you wanted to ask?
No, because they said the שידוכים, שידוך ראשון, שידוך שני לפי מעשר. אין בן דוד בא אלא עד שיכלו כל הנשמות.
True. We'll get to this. Those details. I'm now giving the overview.
My question like this.
Yes.
You know how sometimes they say this one, that one has a special neshama? How do we correlate one neshama being more holy or more righteous? Is it because, like you said, everything was a spark, and based on the sin of Adam and the part of the soul, that neshama that... Because you're telling me the neshama was a part
basically
of the...
yes, but it's much more...
closer. It's a very deep...
It's more complicated than you think, because...
I'm assuming.
And here's the thing that he mentioned right now is the Gilgul Neshamot. I didn't speak about Gilgul Neshamot.
That's what I mentioned first, if you remember.
Right. So if you want, we could just edit now.
A couple of times.
This is recorded. I want to listen to this clearly.
Yes,
How
it
do I
is.
get
It is.
I kept the
Good.
phone.
Okay, it's recorded. Bezrat Hashem, it's recorded. It will be there.
Okay.
Listen, the thing is like this. Let's talk. I want to do it more in order, but let's be spontaneous. I have to repeat this and do it more in order, but because those questions are very, people curious about it, I think it's fair enough.
Very deep and interesting
Right.
topic.
Listen to the following. After a
Everybody
person,
wants to know why we're here.
right, after a person finish his life in this world, the neshama separate the body going to the ground of everyone. The bad people, the righteous, the wicked, everyone going to the ground at the end. The body. The neshama of everyone going and standing for a judgment at the day of the ptira, the day of when the person passes away. The neshama goes to the shamayim, and the neshama comes with all the actions that this neshama did with this body during the time that they were here in this world. Every action is counted. Everything is in the computer. You could not erase anything. Now, when the neshama comes, the judgment will do what good things this person did versus what not good things this person did. The mitzvot and the avirot. Now, let me just show you in brief. I think we should repeat this later on in one of the other lectures in a more thorough way. Froze. Why is froze? I don't know. Okay. Look at this. Now, what will be the judgment on? There are 3 realms that we have free will. Every human being. Action, you could do good or evil. Speech, you could talk, positive or negative. And thought, you could think positive or negative. All three realms are the things that you could do something. And this is you. Remember, we talked about this before. Your body is not you. You got it as a gift, as a tool. Your neshama is not you got it. You didn't choose it. What do you choose? What to do with them? So what do you do with them, with the body and the soul? Those 3 realms are your fields. The fields of action, the fields of speech, the fields of thought. Every action that you ever did is either good or not good. And it's registered. Every talk that you ever have is either good or not good, and it's registered. And every thought also. Good thinking or good thoughts or bad thoughts. When the neshama comes after 120, the neshama comes with all this entire package of all things that was in the action, speech, and thought. Okay? The neshama comes with it to Beit Din Shel Mala, to the court upstairs. And the first thing in our way to talk, okay? You ever were in the, probably many of you were in the airport, right? When you put your luggage in the screen, right? So there are screens upstairs, very sophisticated ones. You put the entire package, the entire suitcase of whatever you did in your life, goes to the screen. The screen divided it immediately, within seconds, to the good things in all 3 realms: thought, speech, and action, and the not good things. Okay? So now you have, in the other side of the screen, you see exactly everything that you did in your life. The good things and the not good things. Now, the rule is the following. The non-good things could not exist. They should be eliminated. Because you did them, you are responsible how to eliminate them. And there are 3 systems how to eliminate negative things in the action, speech, and thought. Let me first mention them, then explain them one by one. One of the systems to eliminate. You know what, let's speak first about the good way to do it. One of the good way to eliminate negative thing in the action, speech, or thought is tshuva. And that you could do only before the neshama separate the body, but even in the last day of a person's life, if he did a real tshuva according to the conditions of tshuva, he could erase all the negative, everything that he did, even if he was evil all his life, and he did real tshuva, theoretically, at the last day of his life, nothing will left. There's nothing negative in his account. So this is the best way. But imagine someone that didn't do tshuva, or did partial tshuva, but partial of the things. So there are 3 systems to eliminate, it must be eliminated. And because this person did it, he is responsible to eliminate it. The first system called suffering, yisurim. And all the painful times, physically, emotionally, spiritually, that the person has in his life are taking away some of his sins. Yisurim memarkim avonot. And Yisurim is everything that you're not happy with. To be, modest. Of course, something that you really suffer. But this Yisurim has a purpose to eliminate the sins. And there is a logic in this. I don't think today we'll have time to talk about it. Maybe we'll talk about it next time. Why Yisurim memarkim avonot? The other system of eliminate negative things is the death itself. The separation between the body and the soul could be in many different ways. Could be easy, could be less easy, could be worse, could be very, very hard. Each one of the ways of the options of death has power to eliminate some of the negative action, speech, and thoughts. Now imagine a person who passed all of this. He did negative things, he did good things too, but he did negative things. He was suffering during his life, this way or that way, but every suffering has meaning, has role in order to eliminate some of the negative things that he did. He passed away, let's say the death was in a certain way that take also some of the negative things, but now the soul separate the body, and the soul go upstairs with what left, and something left. What are you going to do now? So there is a third, listen carefully to this, there is a third system. After the person passed away and the neshama separate the body, there is a third system how to eliminate, and this is a final. After that, nothing of the negativity will left. This thing called Gehinom, and I'm calling it, it's not my idea, it's mentioned in the Gemara. In our words, I'll call it a washing machine. Washing machine. So a few things about this washing machine. First of all, it's limited by time. For 12 months only. From the day a person passed away, 12 months. After 12 months, Gehinom, which will explain soon what is it, going to clean up every negative things that he did in the action, speech, and thought. Nothing will left. After 12 months, this person will be clean of the negativity. Only the zchuyot, the positivity things in the action, speech, and thought will be his, and no one will take it from him. This is his portion in the world to come. But now we are not before the world to come. We are now he has to go after Gehinom to Gan Eden. In Gan Eden also there are different levels, and everyone got his level based on his good things that he did. But it's a good place anyways, in Gan Eden. you could not enter Gan Eden if you have only one sin left. Even if you have a lot of zchuyot, a lot of merits, you're not allowed to enter Gan Eden without cleaning up everything. Now, because we do not know about all the people who passed away, Jews, who was righteous and who was wicked, and even people that play wicked or play righteous, only Hashem, not us. No one knows. Only Hashem knows, and the person, if he's really a righteous or not, right? Therefore, after a person passed away, we say in Kaddish, and the Kaddish is all power, and I'm going to speak about this one shiur or two shiurim about the Kaddish to explain the meaning of the words of the Kaddish and how it works, how it's helped the neshama of a person who passed away. But because we do not know if this person will go through Gehinnom or not, because theoretically it could be that he will not go to Gehinnom even one day. Why? Not because he was such a big tzaddik, but he did tshuva, or he has suffering that really take away everything, or the tshuva and the suffering and the death took away everything. So he came, when the neshama come and stand in the court upstairs, it will be clean. They're straight to Gan Eden. But because we do not know, therefore, misafek, from a doubt, we say in Kaddish for all the people who passed away. Tzaddikim and not tzaddikim.
11 months.
Only for 11 months. Why 11 and not 12? Because it's 12 months. Now, the Mishnah in Masechet Eduyot says that Dinam shel Posh'ei Israel beGehinnom 12 chodesh. The system of the Gehinnom is max 12 months for anyone. After 12 months, there's no point. But because we do not know, therefore, we say in Kaddish 11 months, and only at the day of the Ptira itself, at the end of the 12 months. Okay? So this is this thing. Now, what is Gehinnom? It's a cleaning. Now, let's see this thing. Here's the person. Let's take a medium person, not too wicked, not too tzaddik, too righteous. Imagine a person come to after 120 with this package. 90% of his actions, speech, and thought was negative. 10 was positive. Okay? So they put this entire package in the screen. This is the result. 90% negative, 10% positive. The 10% positive put aside. Now the judgment will be about this 90%. Okay? So imagine, now they're checking after that how much suffering this person suffered during his life. Let's say theoretically, I'm talking about big numbers, that the suffering that this person has during his life, when he take, let's say, 30% out of the 90. Yisurim, suffering. Then they counting the death, what the death could take away. Let's say another 30%. So how much left? 30% when 10% is positive. But again, we're not discussing now the positive, only the negative. So after he died, the Yisurim and his death took away 2/3 of his negative, and now we have 30% left. This 30% will be cleaned at Gehinnom. What is Gehinnom? Gehinnom is a washing machine, and let me continue this example of a washing machine. If you have a washing machine, you know that you have different programs, heavy duty. Now every program has different, if it delicate, with schita, not schita, with how do you say schita? Squeezing, איך אומרים את זה במכונת כביסה? With pressing, whatever. Now, for every program, they ask you, what is this? Is that a white laundry or colored? Or
linen or wool?
You need bleach or do not need bleach? What will be the temperatures, right? The temperatures, the how do you say? חומרי ניקוי, איך קוראים לזה?
Detergent.
Detergent. What kind of detergent? How strong will be the detergent? How many cycles? So this washing machine is an amazing one. It takes, imagine a washing machine like this. Look at this.
You have to be at Tzaddik to go to Gehinnom also.
Exactly. It's not simple to go to Gehinnom because there are another 2-3 options. Gilgul Neshama. There's a Gilgul Neshama. There's Kaf Hakela. There are other options. Well, let's talk about the regular.
Come back
Okay.
as a dog.
Right.
Who puts the coins in the machine?
Don't worry. There are malachim. That's their job.
Not to change.
Anyways, the thing is the following. Think about washing machine from a philosophical point of view. Okay? Imagine a white shirt. White shirt.
Spot.
Now a person wore it and it got dirty. Now there are different kinds of dirt. Could be, just dust. Could be a stain of color. Could be an oil. Could be a zephet. What is a zephet? A tar. Now this washing machine is the best ever. There is no stain that this machine could not remove. No such a thing. What is the problem to clean heavy duty stains? If you use too strong detergents or materials, you're going to ruin the garment itself. So the art should be, from philosophical point of view, you have over here, when you have a dirty shirt, there are two things over here, the shirt and the dirt. But because the dirt is so, the shirt absorbed it, it's really hard to separate them. So you need to find a strong detergent or strong chemical things that could take only the dirt and leave the original shirt without any damage. That's this machine. Here in this world we didn't find out yet such a machine.
Tied.
Even tired.
Oh.
But over there is. Now, when we said that Gehinnom is 12 months for everyone who needs Gehinnom, depend again, how strong are the stings? Based on this, you will get a stronger Gehinnom. So the stronger Gehinnom is to separate very hard stains.
So what happened?
And this is the Yisurei Gehinnom.
So what is really happening there? The guy comes, they put you in a pot, and he is mixing you up. He makes broth out of you.
Again, it's not for the body. The body goes to the ground.
So what is
Talking about the
what's
soul.
the nature of the soul suffering for the soul?
What is the nature of the
how
soul
is it
not
suffering? It's
suffering?
being
What is
cleaned
the
up.
soul? Did you ever saw your soul?
Yeah, I'm talking to her every night.
Right. So we didn't know what the soul is, but it's a spiritual entity. It's not
Okay.
physical. Therefore, whatever we're talking here about this Gehinnom, even though it's in Chazal it says Esha Gehinnom, for those primitives who think that there is a really a very wicked angel that take the body and put it in the tar and stuff, this is childish. This is infantilism. It's not what Gehinnom is. All of these are meshalim because we're talking about a spiritual thing. But the spiritual suffering is really serious. Chazal says that 1 hour in Gehinnom is worse than all the bad things that happened to the entire, each individual since the beginning of the world to the end of days. Imagine people suffered. Take all the suffering of everyone and put them in 1 hour to one person. That will be less than 1 hour in the Gehinnom. Spiritually. So it's really severe. It's really severe, but it's not physical.
Unless-
Everyone know that when you have a physical pain, it's painful. But sometimes you do not have any physical pain, but you have spiritual or emotional pain. It could be even worse. So we have to take it seriously. Gehinnom is really serious.
Wait a minute, unless you have a wicked wife.
That's true.
She saves you from that. The Gehinnom is here.
Again, we are not now feminist or chauvinist.
And
here.
no,
We're talking serious.
Very serious, Chazal.
Anyways, Gehinnom is actually a spiritual suffering for the impact of the thing that this neshama did with the body when they were in this world. After all the negativity, after all this 3 system finished, the person is clean, but he's not just clean. He's clean from the negative, plus the good things that he did, and that's him, and that's his portion in Gan Eden until Tchiyat HaMetim, and that's his portion in the Olam Haba. Now, Olam Haba and Gan Eden is not the same. Gan Eden is a very, very good place, but Olam Haba you could not even imagine. It's much better. And it's growing and growing and growing. We have no idea what's going on up there because it's not in our ability to grasp it, to understand it.
But you just mentioned that Olam Haba is the beginning of the next world to come.
Right.
So the next world to come is to say the new. So we are going to be. You are saying that the next physical world.
Not physical. It's not physical. Olam Haba is not
after
physical.
the 1,000 years of
It's
destruction.
not physical.
There is another world of Hashem Etaken.
This world is the world of reward, and this is the real world that because of it Hashem created the entire world. This
There
world
was a
is just
Charov after the 6,000 years.
right,
1,000
and then
years.
will be a new world, which will be the eternal world. No more free will, no more body and soul. Will be body and soul, but the body will be elevated to a way. Let me tell you this. I think I spoke about this before. Before Adam Rishon sinned, Hashem says, if you will eat from this tree, you're going to die. It means that if you will not, you'll never die. How you will never die? If you have a physical body that made out of dust from earth, meaning it's a physical, right? How physical could be forever?
Why not?
It doesn't make any sense because every physical is limited by time and space. The meaning of this is physical, the way it is now, is limited by time and space. But this physical could be elevated, stayed physical, but overcome the limits of time and space. And that's what happened to Eliyahu Hanavi, body. And that's what happened to Moshe when he was in the mountain for 40 days. So it's going back to the Ramchal, Rabbi Moshe Chaim Luzzatto says the following. He says that the level, the quality of the body of Adam before the sin is like the quality of the soul after the sin. And the quality of the soul of Adam before the sin was very, very high in a way that we could not imagine. But will be always this combination of body and soul, but the body and the soul will be in different, completely different level in a way that even the physical could stay forever. We could not understand this. But there are things that we do not understand. It's okay not to understand. It's okay to understand that there are things that you do not understand. Okay, I think we should conclude over here because it's going to go on and on and on, and there is so much information.
What about the reincarnation, the Gilgulim?
Okay, I cannot talk now about the Gilgulim. They'll do it the Gilgulim next week.
No, because we have to prepare ourselves.
Exactly.
To
so, in order to prepare yourself, you have to come next week. If you really want.
Next week?
Yeah.